hear it, right? Oh, okay, gotcha. All right, hold on, guys. I was asking for a reason. I was wondering if we were having a little bit of trouble there, but I got you. I know what to do. I know the issue. I know the issue. Let me know if you can hear this audio. Hi, little guy. Oh, no. Here it is, team. There we go. And we have that two-stage thing here as well on this repeating signal. What's happening here is that this is a compressed phase, right? Let me go ahead and show you this. This here, this entire area is a compressed phase of this entire area here. They're that of the same behavior. Now, if you observe how this looks in this area here, but in a different time frame, we'll take a look at this now. This compared to this on a weekly time frame, or a monthly time frame, sorry, begins to show how alike they are. Some people, you know, may consider that the inner workings of time, right? And I'm not gonna step into that big of a theory. In fact, I'm even not gonna mention to you officially like dilation. It's not anything like that. It's just behavior. Some things may take a little bit longer to fulfill, and some things are always going to show us a different perspective, and it's going to be one where we least expect it. So now that we can see that we have the fractal behavior between XRP in two different or very distinct time frames, and we can see the two phases repeating here almost to the T. We have the three pinnacles on top leading towards what could be the you know, the lower high structure, right? We have 1, 2, and 3. We have 1, 2, and 3. We have this little area here as a consolidation zone before we create something called a terminal shakeout or a spring. Wyckoff theory calls it that. Now, if you guys haven't noticed, right, I know that this is really meant for my beginners, right, to understand where we've been. But since I have everyone here, I have to speak to you as though you've already been with me from the beginner's mentorship into the strategies mentorship, into the executions, into psychology. This is your graduating course. And I'm going to give it to you all within one ticker and one thread. The shakeout period comes in, which is essentially your bear trap, your liquidity grab. It reaches a demand. It reaches one of the most critical demands before taking off. So what happens here is that we have a shakeout period, small consolidation, reaccumulation, and takeoff. So same here. It looks like a flag. Same here. Looks like an immediate short-term flag. And it pulls away. Now we see that we have fractal theory in line. So it is working. The markets are showing us that it has a rhyme to it. History rhymes is the saying. So, and well, you have hidden figures too, right? Great things come in pairs. There's always something that has to do with a number, right? You're going to hear that some of the greatest songs in the world have hooks that repeat things 3 times. So you have a golden rule of 3 in trading. I can't really think of a... all right, Justin Bieber's baby, 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 oh, right? Okay, we have baby 3 times there too. Holy crap, wait a second. So in a triangle formation, triangles don't respect the golden rule of 3. In fact, they respect it a little more than normal. It's not a 3 test of resistance. It's actually a 3 test and breakout, which leads to the next thread. Both of these iterations are bullish buy formation breakouts, but they're not just buy formation. In immediate short-term time frame, they create a third formation. They both equally are creating they are both equally, both of the fractals here are equally creating a bullish tri-formation in repeating ways in one opposing factor. The first iteration has a descending triangle. Let's go ahead and highlight this. The first iteration has a descending triangle. Breaks out at the 75%, 70% to the apex of the triangle. This is the apex here. Validates supports, shake out to the bottom of the triangle, and continues to rally towards the upside, right? Now, this target here is taken simply by the top of the triangle to the very bottom, right? And applied to the breakout area of both of these actually would be it, right? You can do an equivalent of both of these formations from here to here and from here to here in an angle. And they're leading towards relevant tops within this zone here. So drawing this line has a give about, let's see, about 2 cents, right? Because of the distance between this area and the angle between this area and this area. So it's taking you to similar places here, and it shows you that it's being respected psychologically. So, okay, that's cool. And it looks like we could have had a target here. We could have had the target from the shorter bound here down to the take profit zone of 24 cents. The longer zone would have given us around 26 cents or 27 to 30 cents. And price action actually reached around 40 cents. So 50% split difference between the psychological targets are not bad. Secondly, we introduce a pennant. Now, it's hard to determine here what kind of triangle this would be, simply because we don't have trend before it, right? So the only thing we can see is that, sure, we built it during an upside, and then we started converging. So, yeah, I guess we could call it a bull pennant, but we don't have anything below this area here. So, screw it. We call it a biformation. We have two triangles forming within each other. And it looks like we already have, from the beginning, test 1, 2, and we have your test number 3, and we just said that usually triangles would break out on their third test, right? Well, what about the other triangle, the blue one? Well, we would have test number 1 here, right? We have test number 2, and guess what? Oh, damn. We have test number 3, validation of support continuation. So holy crap, we are rhyming for sure. Psychology is looking like it's really taking over here in a great way. Now, not only were we given the hint that we would test the resistance of the inner workings of the second formation here, but we introduced a third reason, psychologically speaking, for us to break out: an inverse head and shoulders, giving us the idea that the inverse head and shoulders would take us to eventually meet the resistance top. So when we meet the resistance top of this triangle, we would then come back and test the validation of the breakout from the previous triangle. So here we go. Head and shoulders, breakout, target met, retest, continuation. The second and third formations blend together long term, it looks like. That's right, Buzzman, you're noticing this, you're catching the pattern. So target acquired almost exactly to the penny right here. That gives us the reason to break out of the triangle, validate supports, and continue towards the upside to meet both of the other triangles' formation target right here. And we meet them, actually with a split in between, to say, you know what, I can't choose which one I'm going to get, so I'm going to split it. I'm going to go over just right to split it right in between, just to have a 50-50. No, not one strategy psychologically will win. Okay, great. Now we understand the structure. We understand what it did based on psychological metrics, right? So we reintroduce that same thing, except this time around, it's not only longer in time, but we also introduce a right-angled triangle again. But this time, your hypotenuse actually is in the opposing side, right? We have the hypotenuse here. So this time around, we are creating not a descending triangle, we're creating an ascending right angle triangle. Both of which are bullish. Both of which show higher probability upsides, and both of which are the only formations in trading that have a mathematical backing to it. This formation is the only formation in the trade that has a mathematical back. The only one. So which makes it what? It makes it so that those who know about this, it makes it of higher, it makes it, does it have higher validity? Does it have a higher strike rate? Well, all of those things, sure. And not only that is because if it's so mathematical, then it would probably rhyme with other forms of mathematics as well. So if we're talking geometry here, then in some way statistics will show that there is a repeating factor here. And not only if it's geometry, then we would also observe the geometric retracement, Fibonacci. So it should rhyme too, shouldn't it? Right? So we have an infinite amount of probability here. So great. We see now that we have this right angle triangle, right? And if we count the iterations, so we have your from the beginning here, we have test number 1 right away. We have test number 2 here, and then guess what? Well, we're headed towards a test number 3, aren't we? And where's the test number 3? Well, it's at $2 exactly, $199.83. And the targets that we're observing BTC reach are 100K. I'm wondering if the 100K is correlated to the $2 zone of the resistance, a major resistance for XRP. That could be it. So now there's a psychological belief embedded in everyone observing the break of $2 for XRP correlated to the 100K of BTC. A deeper reason. Okay? All right. So within this triangle structure, we then notice, holy crap, there's the pennant. Just like we did on the other iteration. Holy God, man, something is happening here. Wait a second. So I'm going to blow your minds. That's not even why. The $31 target is not even why I'm going to blow your minds. I'm you know what? I'm going to be a little smug here, but this thesis that I'm saying it for you right now, you're going to say, holy shit, he is ARCa for a reason. And I am going to make you do this forever. Okay? Keep up with me here. Yes, I am, baby. Keep up, okay? This is going to be a lecture of lectures here because you guys are going to see the potentials of like, holy crap, wait, this guy just left fielded me just when I thought I saw it all. Okay? You love me a long time? Check this out, Destiny. All right, so we have the bull pennant breaking. It is in its breakout process. Can somebody in here tell me what percentage of the triangle it's breaking out of? If this is your pennant here, this is your breakout, what percentage are we in? Yeah, that's it, guys. Look at all you rhyme. Statistically speaking, your triangle family tends to break out 65 to 75% to the apex of the triangle, but does not respect it, does not have to. It doesn't have to. But if you try to look at its resolve, you have 1 test, 2 test, 3. Damn! ARCa just said on the other triangle that this would be 1, 2, we're going up to 3. Holy crap, just like this one. Wait a second. Okay, we have a resolve here that's happened before, almost exactly like it. Wait, but what else why? Wait a second. We also, if you compress your image here, then there is also a bit of an inverse head and shoulders too. You see it? You guys see that shoulder? Holy crap. Wait a second. So then we have an inverse head and shoulders, and what's the target that it's giving us? If it's giving us that target, hold on. We measure it from here to that bottom side, and we actually applied it to the wrong place. We would have to apply this to the shoulder top and the center. Oh man, hold up. Wait a second. The inverse head and shoulders is telling us that we would be testing the $2 zone, just like this inverse head and shoulders told us that we would be testing the 2-cent zone. 2 cents. Hold on. This was breaking into 2 cents, testing prior all-time highs. 2 prior all-time highs. This is breaking into $2, testing 2 prior all-time highs. So I'm showing you more and more where psychology is and how it's rhyming, how psychology is rhyming too, not price. Okay, and we also have 2 very similar formations, both of which are bullish and continuation. Both of which are introducing a third inner working formation, the inverse head and shoulders, creating a bullish tri-formation breakout, a complex breakout. This is a complex strategy, and it's giving you every pathway that you can ever think of using time. We have the first target. We're headed towards that. Your boy told you here days ago that this is highly likely going towards $2. We said 167. It goes to 164 yesterday. From 48 cents, we said 105. It went to 105 and 124 and beyond, but we showed you why the 124 was there and why I felt uncomfortable to talk to you about it. I already had the analysis there, team. Okay, well, the upper bound targets, you can only imagine. Sure, we have resistance coming up, right? These are important resistances, sure. 340, that 330, that 334 to 340, that's important, sure. The break of $4 into the targets of around 407, which have a 1.618 near the $5.58 zone, already rhyme with the sentiment. Those targets rhyme with sentiment because everyone has been, everyone for the last 3 years have been talking about a $5 target for XRP. Well, that's already geometrically possible. It's possible, and it's possible mathematically, but that's not the target that I'm observing. That's not where I sit. The targets to the upside are indicating a potential $10 break, $8.58 to $10.47, with a geometric mean at around $9.64 at the 3.618. Damn. Reaching up to a target from its top side, right? This is going to be your top side here. Using the right angle triangles top to the very bottom is telling you that we would reach a target of around $31.64, so almost $32. Geometrics are telling you that we would reach $29.52 or 53 cents, so completely rhyming there. What is this all? How can I further validate this? Because this is only psychology here. How can I see deeper in time? Is there a further reason? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I introduce to you backtesting divergent drives from the phases that we have already been observing. I've gotten incredibly creative to use a 12-hour time frame divergent drive to coincide with all of the divergent drives that are presented from a larger time frame. The benefit of this larger time frame formation is that we have time. The disadvantage from this formation is that we don't have the time. So I would have to pull back in the time frame. So what I did here is, yes, we're observing a monthly time frame to give us inversions. We have a divergent drive from this point here, right? Stick to me, guys. Pay close attention. This is the time. From this point here, which matches this point, we create a higher low to this point here. But momentum is creating a lower low. That's called phantom hidden bullish divergence. Phantom because it's going through price. Now, if we observe historically, let's focus on the white ones. This is our historical midpoint, right? It looks like we did it again here. So from this point to this point here, which in price just so happens to be right in here, we also created a lower low. And we also created this higher low, indicating a rhyming phantom hidden bullish divergent drive in a monthly time frame. You guys have heard me say before that when we jump into monthly time frame thesis or analysis, that starts to become, you start to enter predictive territory, not forecasting territory so much. Okay, interesting, because this is the phase one of this large triangle here. This is phase one and phase two of the large triangle, right? We also have two different phases for this one too. Now, remember that this doesn't have the time. So what did we use? We used a 12-hour time frame to get us to understand or see where we are historically. So here we go. Phase number one. We have actually an inversion. This is not hidden. This is regular bullish divergence, creating a 12-hour pivot from this point to this point as a lower low and a higher low in the opposing side. Damn. Okay, so we have divergent drives that are also rhyming within different time frames of this. Heads up, this is where shit gets interesting. This is where things are going to get really silly. Wait a second, okay. ARCa, shut your face. What are you saying here? Just spill it. What are you saying? Let's go back to the monthly time. Okay, so if we have our first divergent drive from the first phase, right? Remember that we are talking about 1, 2, and 3 from this area here, right? We have the 1, 2, and 3. Let's go back. So from the third one, from the divergent drive low, there is a 780% jump to the upside, low to closing basis. Okay, so if we look at phase number at 1, 2, and 3, right? If we go on the larger one and go 1, 2, and 3, the upside is magically from the divergent drive low, just like we did here, from the divergent drive low right there to this point, it's magically 808% to the upside, matching numbers with divergent drives. You hear that? Okay, that's my first slam dunk on your face, okay? Hang on. We also have divergent drives from the total phase, from both of the phases, okay? Both of the phases, ripe. Hang on, buddy. I already have them. I need you to stay with me here. I need you to stay with me. Stay with me here, buddy, because I already have volatility on this. Let's learn the divergent drives. Dude, I know where your brain is. You're so clever. We have a total phase divergent drive as well. Looking at momentum here, pairing it against price action, we are also creating a lower low, phantom hidden bullish divergence from the entire phase. In a 12-hour time frame, we also have the exact way right here, 12-hour time frame. We bring it back down, just like this area here, starting from this pivot low, being this pivot on price, right here, to the very low down here. We got that one, and now the full phase all the way down to this point here matches this point here. Phantom hidden bullish divergence on a 12-hour drive to see that we also have rhyming drives within both of the entire phases. Okay, shit, things are getting scary here. Let's go back to the monthly. It happens. Let's go back to the monthly and let's measure. So from the full phase, from that low, we have a jump of 7,269% to the upside. That shows us that the upside 7,269% leads us to what target? Wait a second. That's the 2-spot 618 at $37. Hold on. Wait. Geometrics are leading us towards $31 psychologically. How do we get, yes, that's right, Ripe. How do we get that kind of confluence? So now it's not only the fact that we're going to be, we're going to pump towards that upside like this. This is now getting scary. We spoke about a $3.29 target as well, a breakout target. Well, we have geometric reason to reach it. We have it right here. I always tell you, the 272 and your 618s, $3.13 at the 1-spot 272. Right? Holy crap, man. So now we're observing the rhyming here completely. Now, hang on. What if we take in the geometrics now from the last phase here, from the mid phase? What does that do? So that takes us here to the break right up here to the resistance level of the 3-spot 618, showing us that we reached that top side before rejection, right? And now not only that, but the top end right here too. That was your 2-spot 618. So that's going to be your first drive. Hang on. That's going to be your first drive. Guys, this is going to be the title of the video that I'm going to put out. I know you see it, Jen. I knew you were going to see it. I mean it. This is the title. Are you guys catching it? That valuation. That's right. It's in threes. Okay. Hold on. 7,269% to the upside on the divergent drive shows us a burst into its first phase. That's confluent to the 2-spot 618. 2-spot 618 said that we would reach a high probability of around 43 to 44 cents. Price action reaches a top side of 39.89 of the 43.99. 2-spot 618 fib. from the phase low here to the phase high, meaning that this area here. So if we take a similar behavior from this area to this area, 2.618 meets right here magically at 7,269%, just like this iteration, to $37, of which the triangles are already leading towards a $30 target. But wait, we're also noticing that there was a burst to the upside even still, beyond the 272, 3.272 into the 3.618. So if we're saying that this can have potentials to run into the 3.618 from a pullback, from the 2.618 pullback burst into the 3.618, this thing pulls back to the 2 fib. In other words, this thing pulls back to the $12 to $10 target and rips towards the 3.618, of which is located here. History rhymes. I'm not setting the numbers there. I'm saying how things tend to work. There's a potential valuation of XRP that can, for some odd reason or for some weird reason, I have no idea why, but I'm catching a $238.48. I will not speak that target in the video. I will point at it. This is a complete fractal, and it's working at its every detail historically, geometrically, and psychologically, and technically. Okay. Hang on. We just got news. Smoke, say the news out loud for JP Morgan. Do you remember it? I think Smokey may have stepped out. He already knows this. Yeah. JP Morgan.
Yeah, they okayed payment for XRP. They're going to use that as a payment so you can buy shit.
Oh, man. Okay. That's cool. That's really cool. Because Options used it before, remember? He said he used it before to do, on what did he use it? He used it for another crypto. I think it was for Bitcoin. I think it was for Bitcoin when they announced that JP Morgan was going to use it for whatever. I forgot what it was. He felt that there was going to be further adoption and upside to it. I think it was. You know, we'll catch up with him. So, I have one more for you. Damn, ARCa, you just said everything that you needed to say to me. No, I haven't. I've given you 65% of the information available for us to determine a potential upside. Yes, more. Phase 1 is averaged at 1,280 days, equivalent to 42 bars. It just so happens that the half of phase number 2 is also 1,249 days, 41 bars. The second half of the second phase is also 44 bars, 1,338 days. 1,280, 1,294, 1,338, 44 bars, 41 bars, 42 bars. Timing is exactly right. One size, twice the size, 41, 44. We have rhyming time as well. We have now timed the market too. If you take this let's just say to about this area here. Well, what do you know? The phase matches. Wait a second, what if we did it over here? Oh, damn, the phase matches. Gray Man said, stop it. He said, stop. This introduces now a psychological reason. Yes, these are all fractals. That's why I introduced this first. These are fractals in different time frames, repeating cycles. Geometrically and mathematically confluent. Behavior at its best. To back, refi the house. Now, to back this, you guys know very well that I will never act on just psychology. I need physics there. I need physics. If it's not there, I don't take it. Let's go ahead and take a look at fact number 1. This is the all-time history of XRP. We have the official break of momentum into the bullish control zone above the 50% on a monthly time frame, which is done in 6 days, and we have this bar working for us right now, headed towards a $2 target that is serving as the confluent resistance as a 100K of BTC and breakout zone. On the third test of 2 triangles breaking out of 2 phases, one of which was at 2 cents and one of which is at $2. This just so happens to be single-handedly the largest phase of contraction that this asset has ever experienced during its entire trading history since 2013. It has never reached this contraction low in its life, and it has never expanded this high ever on a macro time frame. You can look historically. That we have never reached inside. Moving average has never been inside of the contraction zone, and the contraction zone has never been this long. This is the deepest it's ever been. But ARCa talks about this all the time. He says, wait a second, we need the biggest contraction phases to lead towards the biggest moves, up or down. Stochastic momentum would give us the bias. This is going to be our steering wheel. So that means that there could be reason here. If BTC agrees, then there could be further reason, which brings me to, I guess I could do it here still, which brings me to this next fact. I can go ahead and put correlation coefficient against BTC's all-time history. Expand it here and see that the monthly time frame is completely ripping towards the upside. But it's not only ripping towards the upside, because we can see that at some point the correlation coefficient called its consolidation phases pretty nicely. This phase right here and this phase right here is happening at this low of the correlation coefficient and this low of the correlation coefficient at the consolidation phases that we just looked at, which mark off a trend line regression rejection, mathematically spoken, like this. You see the trend? This means that there is not only validity within psychology, within fundamentals, within statistics and divergent drives, but also with human behavior at its raw form. Also with the inversion of BTC against XRP when it inverted, it also had reason. And it just so happens that we're taking off at the rejection of the trend line regression right here. Perfectly in time. Which just so happens to be the space of the fractals. 46 bars, 52 bars. It's within the fractals here. 42, 41, 44. Correlation also showing us the very similar behaviors here in time. So now that we're getting this amount of rhyming, the psychology between statisticians, technicians, and discretionary traders and investors alike light up. This is like observing the neural pathways of a human brain observing something beautiful for the first time in its life, and you see it light up. Everyone lights up at the same time. When we just had the presidential election with the president that we wanted, amidst one of the biggest bull runs that we may observe, amidst the breaking of 100K for BTC and the breaking of the $2 target for XRP. And it just so happens that it's releasing news from giants that can lead towards very positive things. So, okay, one phase of physics is done. Now we're looking at volatility and momentum. This phase is showing validity on a monthly time frame. What is the bi-monthly saying? Largest contraction phase, huge volatility spike, upside bias. This is inside of the gravitational zone. What is the 3-month saying? This is its largest contraction, volatility spike, upside, inside of the gravitational zone. Stochastic momentum, triangle breakout. Resistance, breakout. Triangles breakout. Momentum against psychology. Okay. 5-month time frame, we may not have that much data, but we have a volatility spike right here. We are about to start crossing over the moving average. Take a look. Testing it. Okay. Upside bias. 6-month, can we squeeze it? Volatility spike, crossover happening, upside bias. Okay. Annual, we don't have any information, but the annual is displaying to us something interesting. Wait up. Does ARCa have one more trick in his bag to get us to be like, no, you didn't, bro. You didn't just do that. Hell no. I don't believe you. Did you think for a second that I was going to allow this $31 target to slip by with an offset of $36? $37 to $31? Fuck no. No, sir. So, I will introduce to you my favorite formation in the world, semi-annual time frame. Cup and handle. Hold on. Can't get it. I can't get it. Just gonna have to draw it like this. Screw it. You see it, right? Okay, hold on. So if we have the cup and handle, and we apply it to the top end here, where does that take us? $31.30. The breakout from the triangle here is taking us to exactly $31.65. Okay. I'm not joking when I said, yeah, Jen, oh my goodness. I am not joking when I said that this has every single signal that we have ever studied together to the detail by rhymes. Because when I told you that this is only 60 to 65% of the information 10 minutes ago, I meant it. I looked at everything. Semi-annual time frame is ending in 1 month and 8 days. On a true green outside bar tweezer bottom, which is within a 12-month bull flag, 6-month cup and handle, monthly time frame pennant with ascending triangle, inverse head and shoulders to instigate that break to the $2 zone at its all-time highs with repeating fractals and timed perfectly to each other with geometrics backing it, and not only geometrics but also fundamentals. This is literally the completion of the entire course that you have taken with me from the beginner's mentorship into strategies, executions, and psychology. All balanced out as one giant package to indicate a tiny asset as the end of an egg hunt to give us the potentials of an upside continuation of its index, which would be BTC. We found the signal. We found the SOS within a very unexpected place. Yes, I see upside in Doge, sure. I see it in Pepe, I see it in SHIB. I see it in Solana. I see it in a lot of assets, but I don't see it like I do on XRP. And that's the crazier part of all this. So XRP has the complete rhyming package here for us to observe. And every single target to the upside is also rhyming. I don't know what to say. Now Guardian is asking me A+ play. No. Not in my book. This is not an A+ play. The reason, can anyone answer why? It's not an A+ play for me. Some of my OG students may know this. I don't always remind everyone about this, but let me know if you know. No, it's not because of the cat. Yeah, that's a good reason. Good, great man. That's very clever. It does have the fundamental catalyst. It has the JP Morgan release that they're going to start accepting payment via XRP. So this has a huge fundamental reason. And also, Mara and MicroStrategy's purchasing BTC under 100K, institutional ownership under 100K instigates or insinuates breakout. The sentiment is actually positive, and it's very, very positive, and it's trending more than ever. So I have to remind you guys. No, Ripe, you may not know this. My OG students will say, oh, yeah, you're right. You have mentioned it before. That it's the valuation. It's that it's micro-capped. It's $1.37. So, OGs, do you recall that? That's the reason why I just, yeah, fuck yeah. Oh yeah, man. So I can't give that to you guys as like I can't give you an A+ trade on this. I can give you a B-. That's extremely high because I usually for microcaps I give them a C plus because they're high risk. But because of the magnitude of rhyming and correlation and catalyst based, I mean everything on this is a slam dunk. Because of that fact, I can't give you. It's just because of the microcap. I can't give you the A plus, but know for a fact that a B minus for a microcap is the largest rating that I've given a microcap ever. I've never given a B any microcap ever. So Ripe saying, I remember there has to be a certain value in market cap. Yeah, I would really like to observe mid cap minimum for B plays. But this is a micro. It's not even a small cap, dude. This is a micro cap, and it's highly speculative. It's very dangerous, but that's also how Bitcoin was. I'm not saying that this is going to replace Bitcoin. I'm saying that this has utility. And I'm saying that it has the potentials of world adoption. You know, it could be used as another form, because if we are observing the BTC becoming like such a major currency here, then there is reason to observe other potential currencies within that. So we have paper currency and metal currency, right? Being that we have coins and paper money. Well, inside of cryptocurrencies, we would have the altcoins versus your main index, right? So it's going to be your leading index, your leading index being BTC, and your alternative coins being and anything like Ethereum, Solana, XRP, Cardano, those, right? So it's just like we already are doing it, except in a digital form. So that's my that's my thesis, and I think that XRP would potentially lead the pathway here eventually. If it does really combat all of its legalities, litigations, and whatever else it has. Trust me when I say that I usually do not practice price action or practice the continuation of price using legalities whatsoever. I have bad experience with that, and I often know that and feel that the immediate short-term time frame often has nothing to do with legalities. So, and at least not for at least not for sustainable price. That's the best way I can say it. It's probably not for sustainable upside price. Probably short-term gain, but immediate short-term distribution as well, and then likely just returns back to its fair value and continues on its normal path, which spike ups happen all the time, and they're just traps, liquidity grabs. But in this fashion here, the thesis that I built around XRP is that of the magnitude of this is it's great, team. We have continuation on macro times here, too heavy to be impacted by the immediate short term. It would need immediate short term to a 5-day time frame in order for it to start invalidating the upsides of even the monthly time frame. This has upside breakouts on 6 months of upside with volatility. That's too heavy. The weight of a 6-month upside, 3-month quarter upside, and even a monthly upside, those are extremely heavy for a 5-day time frame to even impact that. 5-day time frame likely impacts the weekly and bi-weekly, potentially 3-week upsides. So that's about it. That's about as far as it can go as far as time, in my opinion. So the upside on XRP is actually of just a greater magnitude here, team. I think that this is at its local floors here. Even if this thing dipped to $1, it's still local. It's still considered to be local supports. This is likely going to break the $2 zone. It's likely going towards a $4 and $5 zone and beyond. I only look at numbers and I only look at data like this, and I see that it has credible I see that it does have credible, catalysts and stuff lined up. So take everything that you just heard here with a grain of salt, and just know that everything I've ever taught you and everything that I've ever expressed to you to use, for higher probability plays has been used here in this thread of analysis. Everything from candle formations to formations, the clusters of candles, everything into volatility, momentum, divergent drives, the geometrics, statistics, everything. Guys, this is a complete package here, and I really, really appreciate the opportunity to have this thread of analysis here for you guys. I really, really, really am thankful, and I'm grateful that this would show up so we can study this together. So, but those are the ones that run 1,000,000% in a day. Yeah, well, maybe. And then they also returned 1,000,000% in a day. Right. So now Ripe is saying, I remember there has to be a certain value in market cap. Yeah, the market cap, a billion, right? A billion market cap, and at least 500 million float to show itself into the mid caps, right around there. And Gray Man saying, so you're not seeing a pop up and done, you're seeing a continued higher valuation as more adoption of the coin. This could be good for a long-term hold. Yes, and it's also rare for me to say that for something that's micro capped. I see this as sustainable upside. This is not something that I'm seeing as an immediate short-term pump. This is a symphony of growth. It's increasing. It's increasing at the rate that it should be, literally, mathematically. I tested its invalidations in any which way I could, and I can't. I guess that's something I can rely on you, Jen, or you, Buzz, or my OGs. I could probably rely on you on that. Destiny, if you see something in there that invalidates my play towards the upside, please make me aware of this. But I still. And even still, last night, guys, I finished this at maybe 3:30 in the morning, 4 in the morning, and I was just like, my jaw was dropped, and I just sat there, and I'm like, what? I'm like, no. And I looked even more. I looked, and I continued to look, and I'm like, what the hell is going on here? How is this? And then I couldn't really find it. In fact, I'm not giving you all the information even still. There's still other things that I've noticed here that, from say for example on a weekly time. I also let me pull up maybe I guess I could pull up this chart. The phase one to the end phase also rhymes with the upside targets diagonally, but I don't like to use diagonal lines too much, right? So this is what I mean here. So using phase one in correlation like this, then we're reaching the $37 target in a regression as well. So that's also weird to me too. So I knew that I was gonna blow your minds, right, when I spoke to you about the $31 target in the semi-annual cup and handle, man. That was the pinnacle moment here for me. I was like, when I put this down, I was like, no, you didn't, bro. Like, did you actually find the reason why, like, the gap? Like, I couldn't take it. I couldn't take why this 7,269 led to $37 and why this formation was leading to $31. And at the last minute, I found the cup and handle with a topside take profit at $31. I shat myself. I'm like, no, bro. Every single target was met to the absolute rhyme. Every fucking target was met. Jen is saying the third spike will actually be the break of the larger formation and repeating, etc. That's what I'm saying. It's like an echo. It's kind of like a mirror to a mirror. You know, this thing is fucking outstanding. I can't believe what it is. Like, this is actually incredible. This is actually incredible. What this thing is doing with time. I mean, it's completely rhyming the time. Guys, look at this. I mean, look at the freaking bottom. 42 bars, 41 bar phase, 44 bar phase. Coming up into these phases, all of them match. You know, like we were looking at the where was it? I think we did it here with the correlation coefficient, right? In fact, I think it was right in here. So we pull up the correlation coefficient. I know I realized I didn't keep it in there, so it's all good. Against BTC all-time history index. Let's apply that. Let's go to the weekly time. Or it was the monthly time. I think it was the monthly time. Yeah, monthly time. Here we go. The monthly time regression spikes just so happen to call the consolidation points that we pointed at here and here, right? So correlation coefficient is also telling you right here at the exact point of consolidation, and this point here at the exact point of consolidation, and at this point here at the exact point of correlation with the breakout. So fucking shit. And then you're noticing here that this thing was completely giving a mathematical reason with trendline regression and its rejection. Not only that, is that when you measure the phases right down here, you're catching 45 bars, and measuring this phase to that next phase, you're catching, magically speaking, 52 bars, rhyming the 40 bar thesis that this thing has for every phase that it's done historically. Now it's being done through correlation coefficient as well, dude. I'm holding my face. Yeah, I'm gonna repeat what I said earlier because Niz didn't catch this, but I think it's no, with the three figures. Did you really? Okay. I was gonna make sure that starting with two. Yes. Yeah. The $238 target. I can speak to you here about it because it's you guys. You're my students. And I don't want to speak about it like public, like in the videos that I want to record. I think I want to title them, but you already saw my title, but I think I want to do something like this. And you guys can help me title it too. So I could do XRP, just like I showed you earlier, right? So potentials of XXX, and then I'll do this as part one of a maybe 4-part series. So recording all of the 4 parts today and releasing all 4 parts of the analysis individually and putting them up individually. So it's just so correcting, just real quick, right? Just correcting what because somebody asked me like, what do you think the time frame would be? Like, what do you think the time frame would be for something like this? Well, I honestly think that due to the phases that we were observing here, right? These here, the first phase. Remember that this whole triangle is one phase, and this entire triangle is one whole other phase. Except that when you you multiply time here, you have a secondary phase here that just so happens to be the fucking same size as the first phase in its entirety. And as you split the time here, you go into 2 months instead of just 1 month, then this phase starts to look similar to the size of the of this original phase on the monthly time frame. There you go. So monthly time frame, this has that large, this is that width, and then this is, too many candles here. So you diminish the candles by upping your time to bi-monthly, and then you see it here, and it looks more like this one on the monthly. So this can tell you, you can't see my screen, buddy? Guys, let me know if you can't see my screen. You should be able to, though. You're still on the video? Oh, okay, gotcha. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. It's because I'm not giving you my window projector. I'll show you. Sorry, guys. Here we go. You can see this now, right? So let me show you that phase. So this phase here on a monthly time frame, it looks this one, this right here, this triangle on a monthly time frame is supposed to be this entire phase here as well as a repeating cycle, right? It would be not a problem is it would be as a repeating fractal, right? So this would be the fractal analysis based on your initial reaction. So this initial reaction is set out here magically again, right? So when you split the time, meaning that you create a bi-monthly, right? So you add to the time by literally just by 1, you then start to notice that the size of this this fractal becomes the size of this original one at its monthly time. See what I mean? So this is your monthly time, and then this is your bi-monthly time, and it appears to be at the same size. So that's what gave me the hint to know that the phases were actually repeating each other. And a way to do that would be simply by taking into consideration something like this here, right? We're going to take this into consideration here, right? We'll go ahead and just take this fractal and we apply it to this point right here, and it just so happens to be the end of the phase, like almost perfectly. Right there, where the divergent drive ends before it continues upward to the 800%, which matches the first 800% to its halfway point, and then repeating this here from that point, and you put it down like this. Then again, magically speaking, this thing from this point here ends up at the end of the cycle there as well. So we have 2 repeating cycles disguised as one entire triangle phase that is equivalent to this here. And it's rhyming incredibly. It's rhyming so fucking much, like actually so much, to the point to where you have this like first upside, okay, so going back to this thesis right here, right? You have the 1, 2, and 3 spikes, right? And you have the little blue arrows here to just kind of signal you where that bottom side is, where you are in cyclically. Right? You have this little consolidation phase here, shakeout candle, bull flag and takeoff, and you have a bull flag and takeoff, right? So they're completely rhyming. It's fucking insane. It's actually insane. So now when we're able to measure your fractals, right? Just to take you, because this chart is a little cleaner here. When you measure your fractals, which is from this point here to about, let's just say, to the taking off candle, right? You can apply this to that next phase, and it's completely rhyming, right? So you can see right here that the thing it's almost a mirror image. All you have to do really is kind of match it like this here, and then you can see how this is entirely rhyming to this phase as a split. And then again, you can put it right back in here, and then you have that same type of phase happening yet again, and it's spiking up at a similar location too, right? So you have these 40 plus bars of phases here that are completely rhyming each other, and that's kind of what the monthly to the bi-monthly split was the reason why I was able to notice that, holy crap, this triangle here is the size of that triangle there, just in a different time frame. I mentioned earlier, it's kind of like, it's not this at all whatsoever. I'm just saying it's kind of like dilating time, or time dilation. But of course, it's definitely, just don't confuse that. It's not it at all, right? I'm just saying it's really similar to something like that, just using a different time. It's a behavioral trait that happened throughout a longer period of time due to its exponential growth into the near future, because we're not talking about a target of just $30 here. The upside target that we're in fact talking about, just to remind you guys, is, remember, we have a 7,269% jump from the end of the phase one. So the phase number 2 end, putting that exact jump of 7,269 takes you to a $37 target. But please notice that here at that 7,269, we dip and to create a bull flag, and then the bull flag takes us to the 3.618. So just like this here at 7,000 gain, this was the 2.618. The 7,000 gain here is also at the 2.618, measuring the fibs from exactly the same phase. So meaning that your number 1, 2, and 3, this step here, measuring from the bottom side to the top side of there, is 780%. Well, just like that here, 1, 2, and 3, we're going to measure from that bottom side to the top, and it's 808%. So we can only assume that this would also rise to that 7,200% next, marking off the end of the phase one, right? So phase one jumps 7,200% to the 2.618. This thing is magically jumping right at the same time. 7,200% to the upside leads to the 2.618 at $37. We pull back, and then we jump to the 3.618, which then takes you to the 3.618 here. Pull back 272 to the 2.272, and into the $238 target we go. So if that is the case, then cyclically speaking, this next drop would be a pretty significant one. So if we are following fractal analysis, then in essence, the next drop here would be a 96% decline from the $280 target, which would lead back to $8 for some time. So that's your $10 validation. $10 validations would start here to get us to, find if that's truly our area of resistance. We break back above the 37, which puts you at the might as well of $50. Create $50 as your space of new confirmed resistance into support, and continue on into I would say into 2027, 2026, maybe we would be reaching targets of anywhere between the 4.236 to the 4.618 of $750 to around $1,500 per coin, if this does get adoption as far as we think that it can get adoption. So I'm giving you guys the analysis that I don't ever speak on live, like for YouTube and stuff. You guys are my master students, and I will give you guys how I speak about these things completely in complete transparency. Do not take this as any type of financial advice, not because I'm saying because you're going to sue me because of whatever. Not that. It's because you're my students and I give a shit about you. I want you guys to take it with a grain of salt and know that there is a very strong potential of continuation into the upside for this asset, and in fact a very strong one. JP Morgan announcing the catalyst. That means, guys, that this is graded a higher. This is now rated a higher level. Remember this. I am telling you that A+ trades are very hard to find, and I've given you 2 this year. 2. Tesla and MSTR. 2 of them. The other one, actually, it was 3. We graded a potential A+ trade with SMCI's drop. That was a 40, 50 point drop that we called on that. Okay, this is not worth. I mean, we're talking about XRP at $1.43 right now. This, if like earlier, I was telling Ripe, if you know my deal, you know that I can't rate an A trade whatsoever when we are within the microcap realm. This is a microcap. We're sitting at $1.44, and looking at the valuation of the company, the fundamentals here. Let's take a look. This has a market capitalization of about 81 billion. So nice, right? But it's let's see, the supply. Oh, the fully diluted market cap is 143. Okay, and then we have a circulating supply of 57 billion. So, like, how is that? It feels like it's been suppressed. So it's like a mid cap to large cap, but suppressed down to a micro cap. So I think so. In other words, I may have to say that it's undervalued. It's because it's $1 that I can't rate this an A play. And it feels like a microcap, but I didn't see this earlier. I guess I fucking am wrong with the microcap, but this is not, like, it's not valued correctly. So if it is undervalued, then it's fucking hold on. The market cap history on XRP, Ripe. Let me see. Oh, that actually brings some attention to something else. Let me see something here. I wonder if I can see the on balance on this. I don't think I could, but let's take a look anyway. Yeah, man. I can't do OBV on shit. I can't do it on crypto at all. Let me see that chart again. Yeah, the market cap is moving confluent to price. It is confluent to price. I guess what I was trying to see is if this had people continuing to acquire it, even despite the downturns here. I wanted to see that the ownership behind it. Nid's saying one thing I learned with XRP is not to treat it like a stock when it comes to market cap. There's 100 billion coin supply. They can't mine anymore, and every XRPL contract made burns XRP per contract. Okay, so the burn rate is also something. Yeah, I don't treat it. I never treat a coin like an equity. Yeah, knowing the burn rate here would be ideal. So also the burn rate would tell you by what year the market cap could reach a certain valuation to give you the probabilities of a $200 target, $500, $1,000, even beyond. So Ripe saying January 4th, 2018 is the date of the all-time high in the market cap. I haven't compared that to the price of the day yet. So yeah, so January 4th, 2018, right? So that's right back here on a monthly time frame. So that's rhyming very well with where we're going here. So January of 2025. So 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 7-year period. 81 to 90 bars on a monthly time frame later. That's cyclically speaking, this is making new highs every 40 to 60 bars, and we are right there right now. We're at the 45th bar right as we speak, and this would be leading towards towards the next cycle top, which means theoretically that the upside of $238 would technically end us in a $30 to $40 valuation by fucking January. January, mid-January to maybe February at the earliest time. And that's talking about in cycle theory, timing the market. Timing the market is always very difficult unless you really find some rhyming, some rhyming things here. But I know of a lot of traders who observe who have good strike rates or everything, but I also haven't noticed anyone who does it like I do. And I'm very critical when it comes to calling out macro tops like that. I'm very weary, right? Because I don't like to put out information that can lead someone to purchase something that I truly don't believe in. But it was the efforts of starting with Nina, right? So my little love here giving me information about XRP, later to find out that Niz also had a deep respect for the asset, and him and I speaking deeply about potential targets to the upside. It opened up a wormhole for me, and I started to develop strategies that not a lot of people do. So measuring the cyclical tops using divergent drives, momentum versus price, and pairing that, or creating a true marriage between divergent drives and statistics with the fundamentals, right? And also your technical reasons and psychological tops. So all of that is rhyming together here. Very, very, fearfully nice. Yeah, Niz, respect to you, my brother. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Fox. That's what I'm saying. Ripe Image is saying $3.31 is the price I found for the date. You might have beat me to it, though. Yes, I have a resistance of $3.31 or $3.30 to about $3.46, and that's our first resistance above the $2 break. So the correlation between the $2 and the 100K Bitcoin is completely in question here, and it's completely in the cards. Breaking the 100K, which I believe is going to be the case here. The pullbacks that we're experiencing on Bitcoin as we speak are the 100K pullbacks, and this is getting ready for a macro break. The hints are coming in from the adoption of, first of all, yes, JP Morgan announcing the XRP news, and then also Mara purchasing 5,277 Bitcoin at the lit price on Friday after market hours, right after equity hours, and also MSTR purchasing the $2 or $3 billion position last week, and potentially buying another $3 billion in the coming week. So this institutional ownership is telling me that they are expecting a breakout from the $100,000, and it's the longer you stay resisting up there, we're knocking on that door. It's actually not a blow off top. I believe that due to this adoption and due to this acquiring of the asset, that BTC will go into immediate price discovery and likely wick towards 115K and retrace back to validate your 100K as an area for potential newly found resistance into support. $100,000 visible to the naked eye will psychologically put everyone at where is 500K. And reaching 500K would naturally put everyone into where is 1 million. And seeing how everything is moving, BTC may actually be the leading currency. It may actually take over, and I do believe the thesis behind BTC being worth anywhere between $18 and $20 million per coin in about 20 years. I don't doubt it. And so Ripe is saying, I saw a professor say 100K for December, and if it breaks 100K on December 1st, all his students won't have to take a final. I have strong conviction that it'll do it. And Ripe is saying, I hope the guy who bought pizza with it bought some more BTC at some point. Yeah, that story is really, it's funny, man. There's a lot of stories like that, though. I have a friend who has, I'm not going to mention any names, of course, right? But I have a friend who has 300 Bitcoin at an average of $300, and he's worth many millions now, and he purchased at $1,500 Bitcoin. He took out a couple coins to purchase a computer system with 2 to 3 monitors, and so he did. Until today, he tells me how much he regrets that, because that was potentially a fucking $200,000 fucking computer and stuff. He might as well just waited and bought a quantum computer. So that was the world's most expensive computer ever, so this guy, he regrets it every day. But there's stories like that all the time. Yeah, for the time it worked, but I bet you it's in the trash now. It didn't hold its value. Oh my goodness. 1500 Bitcoin was like what, 2012? No, 2013, 14? I forgot when it was, somewhere around there. He could have minted his own BTC with that computer. Maybe so, man. Maybe so. But for now, we know that all minting has come to a grinding halt, and the available supply for Bitcoin is at a static 21 million. And seeing that there are several wallets out there with many, many millions in them and not mobile or not moving, right? If some of those get cashed out, that's a supply dilution, and price will likely drop. But it would have to be in the millions. Ripe is saying after the last halving, good luck solo mining BTC at home. Yeah, no, dude. In fact, all the miners are losing. They're losing their mining to gain ratio. It's diminishing every halving. I forgot by what ratio, but it's in the white paper. But it's interesting. But there's it's just they're going to gain value when BTC gains value if they continue to get it. Oh, you got it, Guardian. Awesome, brother. Awesome. Read that, man. Read that. That'll help you. I'm gonna also say, dude, that it doesn't matter how many books you read. It is all a bunch of bullshit, right? But it's good to catch the perspective from a trader like that. But I will say that I want to change, man. I spoke about this yesterday, but I want to change the way that we observe traders. I think that, and I deeply believe in this team. I think that the reason we don't have like great and more traders who strive to be like absolute monsters. I mean, of course there are, but I have a feeling that we're not doing that because we're not idolizing. We're not idolizing anyone. And if I change the face of trading into creating a trader as an athlete, then that can create this is so and so from Big Head Capital. This is so and so from this over here. Imagine like a trading team where you're saying, oh my goodness, you know what? If Citadel got ARCa, oh my goodness, Citadel's team would be unstoppable. Just like you would from a football team, or just like you would in any conversation for any sport. You hear, oh my goodness, you hear the name of a basketball player, you hear the name of someone else. That's what it's missing. It's missing idolization, and I want to turn that around. I'm going to create a trader series, like an artist series, a pair of shoes, Nikes, Cortez, that are ARCa Bulls, and I'm gonna make it so where people want to follow the brand, not only the trader, and look at the trader for the good that they are and for what the good is that they do and how they perform, their statistics, and they're just like you would in baseball. You know what I mean? And this can help kids stay out of the streets. They'll want to pursue statistics. They're going to want to pursue mathematics, and in turn, it's just going to create a smarter environment for our kids. You know what I mean? And ARCa, why haven't you released a book yet, man? P.S. When you do, may I have the opportunity to buy your second hardbacks? I know, man. You can't do the paperbacks on that, right? Guardian saying, I like that. You are working on a book. I'm working on one right now, but it's not the way you think it is. I'm working on, it's literally called ARCa's Playbook. And it's the way that you're observing my chart right now, with explanations on the side of every formation, every fractal, every individual thing that I've ever seen, collecting it into one book. So it's a chart with description of everything that I've seen. And I'm going to put it together like you would like one of those thick magazines that are like probably 22 inches tall or whatever. So you open it and you see all the different formations like magazine paper. You know what I mean? But big. And that's it. No, I'm going to publish it. I want to publish it. I want to publish that because I will also include something. I'm taking this to the level that I mean, guys. In that magazine type of cover of a playbook, I'm also going to include every single collected descending broadening wedge that I found. And just like you see, the chart here, it'll likely have something like where you found the formation, right? You found the formation. It's got the drawings all over the place on this thing. You'll likely see something like this in the bottom right? You're probably going to catch like my signature or something. And it's going to be confluent to every different ticker through the span of 2 or 3 years of the same formation playing out the way that I called it before it happened. Because I have like 80 to 100 of them. And I want to add that into a book like that. You know what I mean? So I really want to create something that would be observed like, holy crap, man, this is living proof. That this guy can change. One person can change the face of an industry. There's no. It's just so it's so about one type of person here, and you're not allowing kids to explore this, and you're not allowing kids to see that they can. What kid doesn't want to become? What 18-year-old doesn't want to have money? And what 18-year-old doesn't like video games? This can really replace a video game. I would rather my kid be studying stats and physics and technicals than him or her playing a video game like with guns and shooting people. Like I would rather he or she expand their brain here to get cash, but in order for you to get that cash, you need to understand that math. You need to understand probability theory. You need to understand so much more. And then you have these traders now that are coming along that look young. They have an edgy look, and it's like, holy crap, he's speaking my language too. That's the thing, is that a lot of the traders that are so amazing out there, they're like in their 60s, and there's nothing against that at all, but it's just you're not speaking to the young generation. It's like the 30-year-olds who've created all these things for the rest of us to land on TikTok, the Facebook, Instagram. A lot of those 20, 30-year-old guys, that's I think it's time that we make a shift. I think it's time that we make a shift and create a more intelligent, a more intelligent backing. So Ripe is saying, I heard there's a big connection between good traders and gamers happening now in the past 5 years. Yes, absolutely. And Fox saying, I don't want them to need me, but still come see me and love me. I don't want them to miss out on life. Agreed. We are raising adults. So Niz is saying, big up the 30s. We're at the golden pocket gen. Yeah, this is the golden pocket gen, right? And yeah, Fox, I agree with that. That's what I'm doing with you guys too. I'm not afraid to display to you every single individual last secret that I have, right? I don't care. I don't care displaying it to you, because the eventuality of this is what I want. What I want here as an eventuality is that you guys receive. Baby, hold on. Is that you guys receive so much information to never have to rely on anyone, including ARCa, ever again. ever again. So it's going to be up to you to decide to stay here or not, because my idea is that you catch such an amazing education that you have enough knowledge to provide for your family by yourself, and never have to rely on any one person ever again, or social media. Right. And you guys see how sometimes I struggle with social media. Like, I struggle to post on YouTube. Like, I haven't posted a video in a few days. And that's because that's not where my priority is. My priority are my students and my trade, because that's what I do. It just so happens that I am also an entertainer. I love that. I love music. I've been playing music for years and years and years. Right. But my priority are you guys. You are my priority, and my my trade. And Dollar Bill saying that's why we show up for class, man. I love you, buddy. Thank you so much, man. And I really mean it, team. I mean this, and I mean this. And I'm gonna be a little. I said this to the other master students, but when your brain, this is part of psychology, okay? When your brain re-triggers itself, are you okay? When your brain re-triggers itself or re-gears itself for learning, you said to yourself this. You said, okay, I'm going to now learn how to trade. I want to learn how to trade, and I'm going to do my best to knowing how to do that. Okay, so your brain naturally shifts, and it goes into a whole nother thing, and it opens up this new, and it opens up this whole new pathway for you to now learn, right? It's gonna create this new say for example, a drive, right, of a storage drive. This is going to be the collection of your learnings for that particular subject. So in other words, you went into your infancy when it comes to learning a new topic or learning a new skill. So just like in the infancy, when you open your eyes for the first time at birth and you look up, and you look up, then you're going to notice that you say mom, or the first instinct, it would be mama. You know what I mean? Of course, you don't say that. I get it, right? Not as a human or whatever, but it would be mama at first, right? So if you guys are opening your minds up to learn again, and then you start to go into YouTube and Twitter and then observe the learnings from so many different people, then you start to clutter your drive. You start to clutter your initial experience. So then you're going to catch like information from this person, that person, that person, that person, and then you may get conflicting information from the mentor that you chose. It's just your infancy is now a clutter. It's a mess. So what you want to do is stick to your mentor that you chose. Stick to the mentor that you chose. And if one day you need to, per se, release or graduate that mentor to dive into the next, then so be it. But your initial experience should not be you getting information from so many individuals elsewhere. You know what I mean? So you will catch yourself. You will catch yourself like, holy crap! Like, this guy is saying this information, but this person is saying this information. So don't clutter your mind when you're re-gearing to learn a new skill. Stick to the mentor that you chose, whether it's me or someone else. It doesn't matter. Stick to it and be part of it, right? In this way, you're gonna mimic that trader. A good example is Jen. Another example is Sebastian, Buzzman, Dea. You know, my OGs. They didn't steer away. In fact, Sebastian has turned very little money into now a 6-figure account that he trades. And now he trades a 6-figure account, and he will still tell you, if ARCa goes, I go. And my intention was never for him to stay. My intention was for him to continue on and fly without me, never to come back here again. Because that was my intention, for him to provide for his family, not for him to give me anything. You know, but instead he chooses to stay behind and pay it forward. And that's team building. Right? That's what I would love to happen, but I'm never going to impose that on anyone else. So when I tell you guys, Team, the next mentorship is coming in. I know shit is hard. I understand how things can be, but I haven't set aside these 66 weeks for no reason. You know, I want you guys to continue the mentorship program with me and don't look anywhere else. But if you're going to look somewhere else, go and stick to that person only. Right? Understand how they teach, forward test them. Do their targets meet every day? If they don't, then probably they're not worth anything, right? So make sure that it can be live, right? Make sure that it can be live. If they're not presenting to you targets that are not happening on a daily basis, or at least at a higher probability, then probably not the one for you, you know? So, reminder, for you guys, it would be strategies, right? So strategies is coming up. This was all the introduction to psychology, what you just experienced here today. An introduction to psychology, and that's where you're going. That's where the strategy students are going after executions. Can you imagine that? It is based on that structure for a specific reason. We want to make sure that we teach you the tools first. We introduce you to the tools. Then we learn how to use the tools in creative ways. Then we apply the tools. Right? We'll put the application there for the tools. And then after the tools are applied, then we go into what mindset do we need to execute all of this learning? Where do we need to stand? How do we use everyone else's mindset? How do we understand the institutional the mindset and psychology? How do we verse that and benefit from it? You know, so this introduction to psychology is a preview of what you're going to be getting. So just know this, team. I'm trying to create a smooth first ride into strategies. So please, if you haven't signed up for your strategies, let's get it done. Do you speak to me if there's any troubles? Whatever it is, you speak to me. Okay, but let's get it done and everything will be good. And I promise you, I actually learned this from my mentor himself. In fact, guys, I know that a lot of you weren't here to hear this, but I want to know if any of you are interested. This is I'm going to invite all the tracks to this if this does happen. So I'm going to invite all the tracks in the last week of strategies, which is not next week, but it's the following week. I want to introduce you to my mentor. Would any of you be interested in hearing him speak? To the person who was, you know, responsible to identifying who I was, or he said, you know what you would be? You would be an incredible stock trader, he said. And I'm like, what, man? And yeah, he said it just like that. So little by little, he always dragged me to his computer. When you come by to the house next time, I'm going to just sit down with me. I'm going to show you a couple of things here and there. So, yeah, great man. So he would show me new things. And little by little, he showed me, you know, the short bias. He's a short bias trader. And I found it to be incredibly cool, you know, very, very interesting thing. So please make sure he's in this track. So this is something that I'm going to introduce to all master students. So I'm going to put out a mass invite for the last week of the strategy students. And that's going to be their culminating time to enter executions, and you guys here would be choosing to enter into strategies. So he's going to be the introduction to the shift, to the culmination process to all of you. And yeah, so I do have around 300 something students along you guys. I think, right? Just a little over 300, I believe. And I would love for you guys to be present and observe what my mentor did and what he said and how he helped develop the person that you're observing now. So I'm happy that you guys are all very interested and all are saying yes to hear him speak. I love it. I love it a lot. So I'll make sure to speak to him, and hopefully we can do this in about 2 or 3 weeks. Then we'll have him speak here, team. I'm sure he'll be open to receiving some questions too. But a girl that I observe trading futures, her name is Tori Trades, and Victoria Tori Trades. She lives actually about an hour from me. She's 200,000-300,000 subs on YouTube, and she she brought in her mentor, and her mentor is her uncle. And I was stunned by the things that he was saying, because the things that he was saying are the things that my mentor was saying too. He was saying, if you're going to learn from me, stick to learning from me and no one else. Don't go off and listen to just anyone, right? Try to do your best to read up on Google or read up on Investopedia to capture your knowledge. Of course, I denied that, and I found Eric Crown. And then Eric Crown, I learned all of my quantitative measures from, and I expanded from there. So he's very discretionary. He has the knowledge to be a market maker, and he's just good. The infamous uncle, yeah. So he speaks a lot about what my mentor said, and I was like, oh my goodness, this guy said it just like that. He goes, stick to your mentor. You got to stick to the one guy or the one gal to do your thing. Oh, you do? Okay, good. Yeah, her and I talked to her when she had maybe, I think she had 13 or 14,000 subs. I had maybe around 800 subs, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Now, I think I have to correct the numbers I said before. I'm sorry. She had 8,000, and I had 800 or 700 subs on YouTube, and I spoke to her a few times. Yeah, so little by little, she just started exploding. I mean, she's a girl, she's attractive and she trades. Like, that doesn't really, you don't see that a lot. So of course that happens. She's good, she does her thing. There's ways to observe futures trading, and you stick to the one strategy that you want. And if the play isn't there, the play isn't there. Simple. It's as simple as that. Don't get greedy. You know what I mean? She's a little bit cutter than like cut as in like ripped. Like yeah, she's very fit. Yeah, she is fit. Yeah, I like the humble trader too. She's very good at what she does. I like it. And she also shows you her losses. She's not afraid to do that. But yeah, I chose the people that I learned from. It was very, very little the people that I considered learning anything from. Just to be very honest with you, the ones who taught me anything inside of YouTube is actually just Coins Kid and Eric Crown. Coins Kid more discretion, and Eric Crown quantitative. But those were the only ones. And I used to observe mathematical perception or mathematical analyses through the means of Benjamin Cowan. And very, very intelligent, super intelligent guy, a little more than normal. I mean, super, super, super geek, right? But yeah, Benjamin Cowan was another one that I learned great deals from, specifically talking about linear regression and logarithms and many other concepts, all of which I still use today. But yeah, guys, her tips on low risk versus high risk plays is good. Yes, I agree. Ripes, let's see. No cutter better looking than you, cuter. I was like, Cutter, did you forget to put the extra T there, because she is cut, right? She has like a 6-pack, man. She always of course she's an attractive girl. She takes off her shirt and shows herself in bikinis and stuff, and I'm like, oh my goodness. There's where the followers are coming from. So I stopped watching for a while, a long while, until she brought up her uncle, and I'm like, this I do want to watch, right? Because at some point I kind of outgrew the information that she had to say and stuff, because she really does stick to the one thing that she knows, and that's the best practice that you can do. But I don't like to do that, guys. I do like to expand my mind, and I do like to continue learning, and I don't want to stick to just one place, right? So she used to play WTI for oil, and now she plays platinum. She got her first $40,000 trade, and it took her like 8 or 9 years to get there. It took me 2 years to get to my first $10,000 trade. So I feel like in the next couple months here, I'm going to be reaching those numbers. you know, but more respect to her. I think she's very well deserving of it. But her learning in 9 years or 7 years or 8 years, whatever that was due to the fact that it was given to her for free. And her uncle called her out on that. He said it's because you didn't pay for it. It's because there's no accountability to it. And it's like that team. A lot of the members that I've helped do it like for free or very little or actually for free. Some people would say like, ARCa, like I don't have any money at all, dude. Can you help me, please? Like I will learn. I'll be your best student. And they were my best students, and they stuck to it, right? But they didn't succeed through it. It's because you didn't get what you paid for per se. And he speaks on that in that interview too. And I started noticing that it was also the same thing. And I can't, like, how would I charge like my brother? How would I charge anyone that I care about? And even still, I try to help out so many people, and I try to prevent from saying I'll let you in for free. I prevent myself from doing that because I'm signing the certificate for failure. And that it really sucks. She wants to be a successful trader. You are trying to build an empire, different goals using the same means to start. Yeah, that's true. Guardian saying she didn't know what MACD was or something like that when she was on the Humble Trader. Maybe not MACD, but it was a common trading term. She really successful in her own lane. Yeah, that's what I mean. It's just that she doesn't look left or right. She's very narrow-minded, and sometimes that's okay. That can lead you to success, especially when a market is so variable, And that's the living proof that you can do that. Or it's maybe not the living proof that she can do that, and she's actually in fact making the money from her viewership and from the money for her interviews and all that stuff. Maybe that's what's, I'm not speculating. I'm just speculating. Sorry. I'm not insinuating that that's what it is. I'm speculating. But not everyone gains money from the trade. That's the thing. It's more so they gain it from their followers or from their true subscribers and their supporters forever. And that's something that can, damage someone. And which is why, I kind of started struggling here with social media, because it was a low blow when somebody said, dude, you're just pumping this stock and you're like for GME, you're just pumping this stock and then you're just making the money off of your pump from your subscribers and stuff. So I said, you know what, dude? Fucking, you just signed that certificate. I'm not fucking making a video here. Whatever. I put out my last video saying $30 target incoming, 5-month closure is a higher likelihood entry at this point. Entry hit, $29.38 hit. Fucking, my job was done. So I'm finding it hard to come back into GME because of that. And I often let my work speak for itself. And by the time it hits the targets that I told you, like the dude that fucking spoke to me about 4.5 weeks ago saying XRP is not going to go to $1. He said, this thing can't even move 60 cents, but beyond 60 cents. And I replied to him saying, I don't care what you say. If the charts are saying it, I'm going to say it. It obviously, I spoke saying that you obviously don't know who I am. So I don't care about upside targets. I am an ambidextrous trader. I will short the upside and I will long the bottom side. I don't care where it goes. I don't care anybody's emotions or where your positions are. I do not give a hell about any of that. I am here to give you my analysis, my opinion, and if it works out for you in that manner, then it works out. If it doesn't, it doesn't. You know what I mean? I'm not a perfect trader, but I can't be worried about things like that because I'm already worried about my own team losing and winning. Guys, on Friday, I'm sure that, okay, just like I did before, I'm going to go ahead and stop the stream here. The lecture is now over.